Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kenos, and it is do or die time here in the LCUS. We are with week 4, two teams in last place, and they need to win this week to have any realistic shot of getting into the playoffs. Joining me on this first set of this grand adventure is Arcane Soda. How you doing, Arcane?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself, Kinos?
Excited to see these matches get underway. Going to pop over the standings real quick here, and as I said, 9 lives in option 12, last place. Um, 2-0 wins both weeks, get them solidly back in there. Need a little help from Phoenix, of course, but that is the way these things go. First game that we have coming up today is Option 12 versus Northern Storm. Northern Storm, one of the more dominant teams in the LCUS this split. Do you think Option 12 has a chance?
We've seen some flashes of brilliance coming from Option 12, but they're definitely not playing quite to what they were week 1. I think they do have a chance here to take a possible 2-0 win here. So I'd like to see Option 12 kind of make that resurgence and hopefully try to get in here for playoffs. But Northern Storm has been looking pretty strong as well.
I mean,
So.
saying that they're going to 2-0 right away, I mean, that's a strong statement, but we'll see if they manage to pull it off. Obviously, Northern Storm's victory from our special match against 9 lives is fresh in everyone's memory. So we'll see if the picks and bans are affected by that. And Northern Storm is suffering a ban penalty due to the events of that game also.
Um, Option 12, definitely possible to take 2-0 here, but definitely not going to be an easy ask. That ban penalty is going to obviously work in Option 12's favor, give them a couple extra options in that second phase of bans. So,
Yeah, and of course, extra options are everything. You can't state enough how good it is to have more access to your champion pool. So these 3 bans from Northern Storm are going to mean everything. And we'll see what they decide to focus on. Maybe they'll ban the Swain. There's a lot of options to consider when facing off against Option 12, despite their low wins. So, see where they go with that. We do have first couple of bans coming out. Lowy looks like a focus on top lane. What do you think about that?
Shakenats are definitely a notable player for this team, notable player in the league, making his return this split. Definitely getting the respect, I guess, that he kind of deserves from the side of Northern Storm here.
So there was a lot of talk in chat today about how dominant Slack was on Lucian during that special game against 9 lives. Since Lucian has not been banned here, do you think that Option 12 is going to first pick it?
I think it's definitely a possibility for them to pick it here. I don't necessarily know if they need to, though. I'm not sure if it's something that's in Prowler's wheelhouse, and I don't think Greg really plays it either. That said, if they're not going to pick it, they definitely have something in their mind to play against it.
Well, the Olaf did manage to get through, so that is something very exciting. Haven't seen too much of him, seen a lot of talk in chat about, hey, don't ban him. So, him getting through is something to keep an eye out on. We do have a Lux pick floating here. I could see that being picked up.
And this Lux pick is really useful just in so many different ways because realistically this Lux could land on Slackosaurus, Token, or Peach. And we see the Morgana as well, and that probably signals that this could be a Lux Morgana bot lane. But the flexibility is still there for one of these 2 picks to land in the mid lane.
I think it's a pretty good bet that the Morgana is going bot. Peach has had renowned Morgana play based on reputation from the chat. So definitely a favorite of Peach's. Have the go-to Ornn locked in here for Option 12. So we'll see what the last pick here is for Option 12 as well. Looks like we've got jungle and top lane locked in. Maybe support would be a good pickup here. Go with the Senna, yeah. Support doesn't give too much away. floating the Aurelian Soul. That's adorable.
Seeing the Senna here is most likely going to be Prowler, but definitely still a large possibility for it to land on Queen Eliza Bear here. So not showing too much with this last pick, and we get Hecarim locked in for Jester OG.
Yep. So Hecarim definitely a strong contender as well. So this jungle's can actually be very exciting. Thank you for the Prime sub, Fruity. We have Olaf versus Hecarim in the jungle. And of course we're waiting through the whole the ban delay. Because you never know if someone's going to pick Aurelian Soul.
And we have chat here saying that it could be Ornn Senna in the bot lane here from the side of option 12, and that they have been practicing it a little bit. So
that would be exciting. It'd be something different. I don't know if I would anticipate that, but you know, if that is something that we have seen on their repertoire, option 12 loves their flex picks. We have seen that time and time again. They love just having a flexible deck of cards they can just shuffle before the game starts, so that their opponents don't actually know what they're up against. So we'll see if that holds true. They do finally ban the Lucian. But, I mean, I don't think that Northern Storm is that fed up, or that hung on the idea of the Lucian. Because I think if they were, they would have picked them in the first round.
yeah, Slack has been doing pretty well at a number of different things this split. So the Lucian, definitely a standout performer, but not going to be too upset not having it.
Yeah, we will see, we will see. Poppy picked up. Poppy was an interesting pick during the 9 Lives Northern Storm game. I didn't feel like she was that impactful. But obviously she's very durable and does have the ability to disrupt team fights with her ultimate. We have Pointy Ball commenting that Poppy's a bad pick.
I kind of agree with that. They don't really have too many dashes to really worry about for Poppy's little ring. But I don't know, not the best pick, but I guess certainly not the worst.
Yeah, I mean, I'm never really a huge Poppy fan. I don't think that she's awful. I think that she's, you know, just one of those off-brand. And Vigo. Alright. Second LCUS Vigo game, I think. And as we see Sigtao Eternal commenting, the Nico finally picked up for Greg again. So it looks like, assuming the Ornn Senna bot is going to happen, Set's going top, but maybe not. Maybe it'll be Set Senna, which is interesting.
And looks like we've got Viego going mid lane.
Ooh.
We saw it previously in the jungle last time it was played here. Greg finally getting his Nico. Chat seems pretty excited about that.
Yeah, definitely excited about that. He did very well with it in the final weeks of the LCUS last split, which helped lead them into the playoffs and the finals. And it looks as though it's Senna bot. All right. So the Ornn doesn't happen. Ornn actually is a bit countered by Poppy, as chat's pointing out, because he does have that dash. But I don't know if I would have predicted a chameleon girl up against the ruined king for our first match here. Do you have any thoughts about that matchup?
I really haven't seen much Viego gameplay, so I don't have any thoughts on the matchup, unfortunately. I kind of just go and ban him because I don't want to bother learning how to play against him. It's that new champion, don't know what it does, get rid of it sort of mentality, you know?
For sure. Well, I mean, I can certainly say that we've seen some good plays from the only other time Vigo's been in the LCUS. Um, and a couple of people have commented there's kind of low damage on this team. I don't know how much I agree with that. Hecarim can be very scary. Lux, of course, once she gets her 12 lasers a minute. Of course, you have to get to that point. But
Lux
yeah,
Morgana combo can definitely blow up Nico and Senna, and then that's your primary damage threats on option 12 gone. That said, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult for them to get through the rest of the front line, especially since Olaf can just run through all that CC and
hmm
tear down the Lux and the Morgana.
yeah, I think Olaf is going to be a big threat to keep an eye on. Um, I can see Princess Peach getting some clutch black shields to stop some of Ornn's nonsense. But I mean, I think I'm agreeing a little bit with chat where option 12's team seems a little more stable. But there's more champs that I'm scared of on Northern Storm's side, I think.
I think for Northern Storm, this match is going to basically come down to how well they can manage the Olaf. Because Olaf's really going to be the one that in fights is going to just run through, take out the Lux Morgana, and kind of leave Northern Storm at a disadvantage. So as long as they keep their eye on Burn the Heretic on this Olaf pick, I think they'll be in an okay spot. But I definitely agree that option 12 has the edge here for this first game.
Well, we'll see if they manage to lock it in and take a win, because they definitely need one. They absolutely need one to get into this and lock this game down and actually have a chance, unless, Phoenix wants to crash and burn for them. So we'll see what happens heading into the first game of the night. Let's get to the skin selection. Come on. All right.
This is a pretty difficult one. A lot of good skins on both sides, honestly.
I kind of like the lightning theme for option 12 plus no skin on Poppy. So I'm going to go with option 12, I think, for this one.
I'm going to have to go with Northern Storm here, unfortunately, because despite Poppy having no skin, they all do have that lunar cosmic skin line coordination, whereas option 12 kind of has some matching colors, but it's basically just a bunch of standout skins on their own, not really working together,
Well, you changed my mind. I'm convinced. The lunar and cosmic synergy is definitely worth points. So we will go with that. So this is now... I wasn't keeping track of the skin showcases in week 2, but this is now 4 skin contests that Northern Storm has won in a row. Despite their criticisms of me liking the cyberpunk skins and thinking that would work against them. Just throwing that out there. This may be our longest load of the night, considering how quick some of the other ones go.
I'm surprised we're not in game yet. Oh, there we go.
I figured if we complained enough about the loading screen, it'd get us in.
That's usually how it works.
Alright. And here we are, game 1. Wow, that Vigo sword is distracting. So we've got an obnoxiously long sword with Vigo, and an obnoxiously huge gun on Senna. Great.
Now, if only they were laning against each other.
Yeah. The big Nerf toys.
Another reserved game where we see no level 1 shenanigans.
Someone at Riot needs to explain to me why he's got an axe hilt on Vigo's weapon.
Sometimes you would just want to hit him with the pommel, you know?
Yeah, then you could just hit them with the pommel and not the whole fucking back end of the sword.
Well, listen. If you don't grab a sword by the blade and swing it like an axe, are you really a man?
I mean, theoretically you could do that, yes. And I mean, I guess if they're going with the whole, oh, this sword is a part of me, so it can't hurt me thing. It's okay. It's just another reason that I dislike his aesthetic. That's all.
That's fair. We get some chip damage going back and forth in this bot lane here. Bindings have all landed so far from both the Lux and the Morgana. So
yeah, this is an echo of what we saw during the 9 Lives game as well, that dual support, dual spellcasters can really stack CC and heavy spell damage chains. And just as soon as there's one opening, there's another opening. And we see that here again. So, something to keep an eye on.
They're definitely doing a good job making sure that they can layer those roots on top of each other. Definitely don't want to be hit by those because it almost guarantees the next one's going to hit. Chat is a little excited to see some crazy fun Viego bugs. I'm not sure if we saw any or not before. I'm going to probably say we didn't see him in the previous game he was played.
Yeah, you got two mods doing the game, so someone's gonna ban the bots. I was working through my alt tabs when I heard your mouse clicking.
It's alright, I found that bot. I squashed it.
Maybe he can send an unban request also. Alright, so Slack is actually taken somewhat low in the mid lane. We see Greg getting some poke in. Obviously, the internal problem of a range versus melee champion on full display. Yeah, a lot of chip damage here. Actually, Olaf actually trying to come in. Slack, for one moment, almost goes the wrong way. Hecarim has shown up as well. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to take out Burn the Heretic here. Minions are also getting involved. Gregosaurus tries to do an anticipatory shot. Doesn't quite work, and now both champions very low.
Jester comes in, does a lot of damage to Olaf, but it takes even more himself. And Slackosaurus looking a little bit worse for the wear in this early stage of this mid lane.
Yeah, though is keeping up in CS, so, you know, it's a question of trade-offs, I suppose. Have to go back early, but staying up. He actually doesn't go back.
He's looking for something in the top lane here. Is gonna go in.
Yeah, Burn the Heretic coming up here. Bidet trying to do a little bit of a dodge. I like that pop-up there, just losing some health. No
Able
problem.
to safely walk it out.
Now, while Slagosaurus may be low health, he doesn't require mana. Gregosaurus, meanwhile, is very low on mana. So we may see Greg going back here soon. I'm wondering what Slack is staying in lane for. Must be an item of some variety. We have a bot lane down here. Also Set being a little low on CS as well. So both melee-focused champions suffering in the lanes with ranged characters. And a very quick dragon here by Northern Storm. This is...
See 4 members there, nobody on option 12 really moving to the area, so... Oh. Nico's starting to come in, but not going to make it in time, and first dragon's going to be secured safely by Northern Storm.
This is something, since we know that Northern Storm is going to be in the playoffs guaranteed along with Blitzkrieg and White Wolf, something that they're definitely going to have to keep an eye on in the playoffs is how these Northern Storm players do these quick dragons. I think, you know, pocketing a ward, intentionally going for the dragon crab, something to keep an eye out for these things and stop them from getting this early advantage. But that's just one man's opinion. Mid lane Slack is still very low. Well, not very low. Still moderately low. Still hasn't gone back either. We do have the Hecarim coming around here. Greg might be in a little bit of trouble, but Nico does have those evasive plays. Throws out one fake version of himself and does just a nice little ult and easily gets away. Yeah, that was almost stressful for a minute there.
Yeah, Pop Blossom able to catch Slack at the end and just kind of dissuade any further aggression. Just a little bit of casual trading in the top and the bot lane while all this is going on. You see Slackosaurus finally going back.
Alright, so he was saving up for a Vampiric Scepter and a dagger, some health potions. Good stuff.
Jester snags his red buff and quickly gets chased away.
Might be in a lot of trouble if people actually had tried to hunt for him.
Senses enough danger and decides to just walk further away.
Maybe playing with a bit of fire there, but that's fine. Once again, Prowler getting bullied a little bit here. Token has almost no mana though. So a Lux with no mana is probably one of the least dangerous things in the game.
Burn the Heretic comes in the mid lane, chasing down Slack. No flash, but he is going to be able to hop over the wall, safely get out.
Classic. Very durable, Vigo. Obviously he's not an Ornn, but the fact that he's able to just absorb this much punishment and stay in lane all the time.
TP coming in the top lane.
Yeah, that was a very interesting teleport by Prowler. I almost wonder if it was like some kind of bait. Because he was teleporting directly in front of Peach and Token. You're not going to get away with that.
Little bit questionable. If that goes through, that's a potential one fight up there. But yeah, if you're going to TP, don't do it in front of two people that can stop your TP.
Mm-hmm. No, that's fine. Shaken managed to not suffer any ill effects from the 1-on-2 that developed up there. Bot lane's getting a little exciting though. Burn the Heretic is down here. Look like both snares missed Prowler. Prowler actually going in with a flash. The spell immunity is going to be rough, but they're going to grab Peach instead. Looks like a poorly timed ultimate by the set. They're maybe trying to dive, but first blood goes over to Peach, and now there's all the teleports coming in. Bidet just destroys Burn the Heretic with the help of Lux. Lux gets the kill though.
If they noticed the Nico walking down, they could have just collapsed on Nico in river as well, but Gregosaurus able to just kind of calmly walk back up to his lane and try to deal with Slack here. Slack does flash, but is going to do a lot of damage to Greg here.
Yeah, very aggressive flash there. I'm assuming it's not worth it, but then again, Vigo does have other mobility options, so it's not the end of the world. I have to imagine that was some sort of misplay by Prowler. I have not played Set myself, so I'm not familiar with how his ultimate works, but I'm guessing he was like facing the wrong direction and meant to body slam backwards as opposed to forward.
Well, he wanted to initially get the grab onto Token, but the spell shield from Peach denied that, so I think he just took the next closest target with the ult and slammed Peach into the wall.
Mm-hmm. Alright, we got 20 seconds on next dragon. Obviously, Jester is setting up in a good position to prepare that. Does not have his bot lane nearby, so he may not start immediately. I would like to see a little more vision in this bot lane area for option 12. They do have a control ward, so they do have at least that. But that could lead to still some ambushes in like this area where Burn the Heretic is coming in now. But, okay, they are coming in now that since they heard the dragons roar, and it looks like they're going to try to go for it. Jester actually running away, so they're not necessarily going to have counterplay. He does turn around now. They're going to see him coming in, though, and he's not going to get there fast enough at all. All right.
Yeah, 4 people just walk down on the side of option 12, burn that dragon, and Northern Storm just can't really react and just chooses to ignore it.
Yeah, I mean, good job by option 12. I wonder how that would have gone if the bot lane for Northern Storm hadn't gone back at that exact moment. But obviously this bot lane is going to be kind of rough for option 12 here, up against all of the kills, down 400 and 700 gold respectively.
Yeah, and taking that Mountain Drake, finding hits 2, and Prowler just is rooted up for so long down here. Taking away that Cloud Drake is huge here for the side of option 12, who unfortunately Prowler gets caught by a couple more bindings, and Lazabear is going to get caught by the same fate.
Slackosaurus coming back around here. Good Ornn ult. Oh, but here comes the Hecarim as well. Who's going to kill who? Slackosaurus gets turned into a evil Slackosaurus. And
Jester
Gregosaurus
coming over the wall just at the right time to save Slack's life there.
Alright, so rough start here for option 12, no question. Very painful bot lane, and good coordination by Jester in the jungle. I mean, he's been doing some good stuff. They got that go-ahead dragon early on, saving Slackosaurus' life. No real focus on the Guardian just yet. Or the Herald, rather. I don't know why I keep wanting to call it Guardian.
He guards the river, I guess.
And Slack is just perpetually at half health. It's just his state of being.
Hey, I mean, I guess if that's all you need.
Oh, Gregosaurus tries some hijinks. The ultimate will land, and he should get away. Maybe being a little bit greedy here, but Burn the Heretics coming in as well. One good axe would slow down Jester. They should get him, and they do. First kill.
Yeah, a good flash from Greg there to kind of stay far enough away. Does land another root, not able to follow up on it. But yeah, great first kill over to the side of option 12. Prowler chained up again down here in the bot lane, and is going to go down.
This is leading me to really question why they did a set pick to start with. Oh, Slackosaurus almost dying.
A very close duel in the mid lane there. And we see Burn the Heretic starting up this Rift Herald, gonna kind of be scared off by
just fight in the jungle, man.
just
Come on.
today.
Anyway, I'm really confused about this set pick. You know you're going into a very, I'm not going to say toxic, I'm going to say very annoying split pair of ladies here with their traps. So why you would go in willingly as a melee champion into that, I don't know. But we'll see if it pays off later on in the game. 0-3 versus 4-0 right now suggests it wasn't necessarily the best pick, but like I said, we'll see.
Yeah, and this lane really wasn't... It was a rough lane for the side of option 12 here, but it really wasn't going too poorly until that whole TP incident where pretty much the whole team showed up.
Here comes the entirety of Northern Storm into this jungle area. Olaf is going to get taken down pretty quickly here. Lots of ultimates flying out in every direction. Prowler is feared, taken very low as well. Slackosaurus jumping from body to body. Shaken, not stirred, also snared here. He's trying to run away. Lizabear is trying to pick off anybody, but does not have the damage. Gregosaurus comes back in, trying to put out as well. They do take out Jester, that's one. Knock away, great knock away actually by Shaken. He might get out. Token's trying to intercept. Lizabear might help here. Gregosaurus coming in as well. They're chasing off Token. Are any of them going to be able to get away here? They don't have a turret. Vigo is coming down. He's actually at full health. Slack at full health. Look out, everybody. Teleport coming in. Prowler getting back into the game. He's trying to rush in. Great snare holding everyone back. Will Vigo snag anybody? He's on a ward. They see him. What are they doing? They throw down the first snare. The whole team is jumping in on Slackosaurus here. Big knockup by Shaken. He's going to try to take Shaken out. That would be scary, but nope.
And that extended fight just turns out to be a really, really, really long 2 for 2.
Meanwhile, Prowler is baiting or getting baited. We'll see what happens here. Jester pops everything. Spell immunity helping out quite a lot. Prowler is going to go down here, so that's now making it a 1 for 2 something, I think. Yeah, I think it's 1 for 2.
The extended play from when the fight first started in the jungle, that fight turns out to be a 2 for 3 in favor of Northern Storm. And Drake's going to go over to Northern Storm here as well.
I think at least 2 of those deaths were Prowler, so that's kind of funny.
I believe so. Yeah, because he was able to teleport back in. I think it was Prowler and Burn the Heretic that went down initially.
But I mean, that's got to feel good for option 12, right? I mean, definitely the momentum is on Northern Storm's side because they've got a 4-0 and 5 Lux and all those other sorts of horrible things. But I mean, they were caught on the back foot and they managed to turn the fight around through some good, good tactical play, good positioning.
The fight was very difficult to judge from the start because initially Northern Storm ran in, then option 12 had really good flanks, but all the kills were coming up for Northern Storm until the fight started to get too long, and then the kills started to bounce back for option 12 there. So interesting. It was an interesting fight altogether.
I'd really like to see Lizabear's damage go up a little bit, which is obviously a problem I have with Senna generally overall. Because it seemed like she was more contributing on the side of just, you know, general CC and spell abilities than actual damage. I wasn't seeing much in the way of little ping damage going off. But we'll see how it goes as the game progresses. We do have a big shift up here. Gregosaurus has spotted out Jester. Vigo's coming in as well. Sexy Bidet is trying to block off the push. There's a big collapse coming here, actually. Option 12 may be in a lot of trouble. They do knock the Ornn away. There's that first step of that strategy. Gregosaurus trying to stall out, not quite working out. Bidet already taken very low. Here comes the Ornn ultimate. Herald has been stolen, but they do manage to take out the Morgana. Can they take out more? Slackosaurus also taken very low. It looks like this actually may be a whole reverse sweep, almost. They've lost the Olaf, but they take out 4 in response.
Yeah, a little bit of over-aggression there from Northern Storm. Didn't really have a great angle to get in there, and option 12 just capitalizes on the whole thing. Trading 4 for 1. They lose Herald, but those 4 kills are going to be so huge for them. And we see Senna just crested the 60 spirit mark, so she's sitting at 61. And Senna is going to be a little bit more potent as the game goes on, a little bit safer, and definitely going to be very useful for the side of option 12 here.
It's cool how the kills are kind of getting spread around too. Like Prowler's got 2, Greg's got 2, Lizabear's got 1. So they're definitely spreading the love around, and there isn't a super focus. Haven't managed to kill Token yet, but I'm sure he's on their radar. Of course, Prowler's got to do the lovely solo lane farming to try to build up some of this deficit. 700 gold still. What happens when 2 manaless champions encounter each other in the bot lane? One runs away. I'd like to see what happens when they start kind of having a few more objective-focused fights. Because these last couple of objective-focused fights have been on the side of... Oh, Slackosaurus actually caught out by the bot lane here and taken out, so Prowler picks up another kill.
Yeah, going on the 1v1 and then Prowler able to suplex the poor Slackosaurus into the Senna for that nice cleanup kill.
Alright, so the
And we
Herald is
see
summoned.
it's not going to finish off the tower just yet, but that tower is just standing gold ready to go to the side of Northern Storm here.
Would be their second turret. No turret yet for option 12, but I think Prowler's going to get this bot lane turret.
Tower should fall here. We see Dragon up in 30 seconds, and we look like a fight's breaking out in the mid lane.
Yeah, really questionable choice by Jester to try to wrap around. Gets hit by all of the abilities, is able to get out because he's so fast. Slack is here as well. Good play by Bidet, pushing Heretic in, but the massive Ornald hits at least 3 members, and Bidet is taken very low. Not down yet, though, because it's so durable. Heretic getting focused by the Vigo. They do manage to get Jester as he comes around back in. They get Slackosaurus now as well. 0 for 2 so far. What are they doing? Looks like they're going for Dragon, which is up in 4 seconds.
We see a teleport going to the top lane from Prowler here, just keeping those waves shoving. And these last couple of fights are looking kind of scary for the side of Northern Storm here. They seem to be lacking kind of the team fight focus.
Yeah, focus is a good term for it, I think. But I mean, they've had some strange initiations also. I think Peach is going to get out of here, that's why I'm not talking too much about it. Because, like, that fight started because Jester was trying to, like, loop around and go into a 3-on-4. Maybe even worse than that, depending on how you define a team fight number. And that just didn't seem like a great idea.
Yeah, the worst part about that was when he did charge the Nico in, the ult went off and was able to chunk out a large portion of his health as well as Princess Peach's health. So definitely not a great start to the fight. And then at that point, they all just seemed to scatter for the fight. They didn't seem to have the same target in mind or whether or not they should be fighting. They seemed to lack that decisiveness and cohesion that they needed for that fight. So fights went in the way of option 12, and at this point the gold lead is in favor of option 12, and Northern Storm has to clean up their team fights if they want to kind of take the lead back in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just a little more on the coordination side rather than the jumping inside, kind of what we were saying. Because it's all just started very aggressively. And they do have a team that likes to be aggressive with the Hecarim and Poppy being able to dive in the way they do. But I think they need a little bit more of that support artillery from their bot lane in order to pull it out here. But we'll see what happens. Peach, luckily for her, does not get caught there. Morgana managing to last. Oh, Jester thinking about it. That might have been a good go-in. They had a 4-on-3. But they decide not to.
Queen Elizabeth already up to 80 stacks on this Senna. Going to be nice and safe in the backline there, especially with such a robust front line.
Well, we'll see what happens. Ornn is kind of lurking here. I'm liking the wards for both teams now as we've transitioned into a middle game. Could use a few more from Northern Storm right now, but I think that's because Prowler and Shaken have been going around killing all of them. But a lot of focus in this mid lane right now. Teams can't seem to decide how much they want to collapse. Prowler once again getting caught in the snare Hallapalooza.
Yeah, but as this Senna gets stronger and stronger, she's just going to be able to heal all that up and not really be, probably not going to be too concerned about any of it.
Yeah, it seemed like Prowler was really relying on that Haymaker shield to start with, but that last time I didn't see him bother to activate it at all. Alright, so who's going to get blue buff? Probably Token? Yeah, it looks like Token's getting it. After a moment.
And we see that Token and Peach both ran the Moonstone Staff of Flowing Water build. And you know, it's kind of like one of the things they really like doing because it just provides so much healing, but unfortunately they're really not able to make too much use of it in these past couple fights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, could maybe use a little bit more on the damage side of it. I mean, especially on this Lux. I don't know if you need 2 support-ish champs, but, you know, it's none of my business. Yeah, we have some comments about how, like, if Prowler gets any sort of magic resistance, he's not going to be worried about Token and Peach at all. But we'll see. Had a bit of it's been a little quieter for the last minute or two than we have had recently, but now Dragon's coming back up, so this is going to be a forcing opportunity for sure.
Yeah, whoever gets this Dragon gets to flex the soul point advantage. So we should see a fight here. Elizabeth gets caught out by a root, but team's not in position to follow up. So just damage traded back and forth, but
yeah,
able to heal it up pretty
Shaken and
safely.
Prowler trying to push the minion wave as a bit of a distraction, but Jester's actually going to walk right into Prowler. Prowler trying to flex a little bit here, doesn't quite go anywhere. This is going to get really scary. There's a possible sandwich coming in here. Here comes Bidet and Jester. We do have the Ghost Pop by Burn the Heretic. Big Ornn ultimate misses everyone. Jester comes in, good flash, shut down, takes out the Senna right away. Regisaur's ult does manage to get Jester on the backside. Ornn is going to get taken out, as is basically everyone else. Oh no, Ornn actually got away. Sorry, that was a laugh. Similar names. So that's the first team fight that Option 12's lost in a while.
Yeah, and we just see all of Option 12 kind of running into the front of the fight, and Northern Storm having the Hecarim kind of able to assassinate that Senna during that fight was definitely pretty important for Northern Storm there.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Hecarim has gotten to that point where he can just jump on somebody, one of the squishier characters. I mean, let's look at some of the stats here. I think, yeah, Senna's the weakest person on the team right now because we have Gregosaurus at over 2,000 health, Burn the Heretic over 2,000, Prowler over 2,000, and Shaken over 3,000 now. So Elizabeth at 1,300 is definitely the target for someone like Hecarim who can come in and just delete somebody that quickly. And it was also a rough position for them because they were getting sandwiched. It's hard to defend yourself on multiple sides. So they kind of started to try to be counter-aggressive by heading into the jungle, but then they were getting surrounded on the backside and they just couldn't handle a multi-pronged attack like that.
I did like that they identified that the tanks weren't there and that they could go in, but I think they needed to, Option 12 needed to do it sooner because Poppy had just reached the river when they finally went in, so if they go in a little bit earlier, Bidet on this Poppy never makes it into that fight in the first place.
Yeah, and like Jester would have been less able to fully utilize the Ghost and all those sorts of other things. Alright, so now a little bit more positioning around Baron. Next Dragon won't be up for 3 minutes or so. Bot lane, Shaken and Slack facing off. There's a bit of an ambush lurking here. We'll see if Option 12 falls for it. Oop. Token ruins the surprise by throwing out some Lux abilities. Oh, Prowler flashes in here. This is going to be huge. Once again, ult's in a bit of a questionable direction. Will Token get away? Olaf chasing down Jester. Turnaround laser. Suddenly Slackosaurus is here. Does get a good stun on this Poppy, but you're blowing all your damage on Bidet here. Jester slashes in and takes out Prowler. The teleport was there as well. Shaken actually, does manage to get a good turnaround there on the Ornn ultimate. Dashes out to avoid the worst parts of that bind, and it's a 1-for-1.
all of that work for a 1-for-1. Moonstone almost able to keep Token alive in the backside of that, but the snipe coming through from Eliza Bear finishing it off. Sitting at 100 stacks now, and she's going to become more and more of a damage threat to kind of assist this Nico as this game keeps going on. So Northern Storm needs to find that momentum that they found in that fight a little earlier. They're going on to Greg in the mid lane right now. Binding lands, and Greg able to Zonia's here. Still going to go down. Huge shutdown gold. Huge shutdown gold over to Slackosaurus on this Viego.
Yeah, it was surprising how they managed to pull it off with only one death on both sides. Because it looked like everything was getting very low. Was showing the power of that Senna's incredibly long range that she has now. Alright.
Just to kind of explain it to chat here, asking why Lux didn't go full AP, which I agree she probably should have. But I guess Northern Storm is valuing the power of that Moonstone Staff of Flowing Water double combo from the Lux Morgana to try to kind of keep their health bars, like the entire team's health bars, pretty much full during the entire fights. But I think the damage would definitely be more useful for them here, because this Viego is doing a lot of damage, but is going to need some help on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't really been feeling the Lux or the Morgana here. Oh, we got another big call coming in. Good Black Shield by Peach, but still doing up here. Hector does try to turn around back in. Another jump in. Oh, once again, the Hector takes away. That laser basically did nothing here. Now Token's in a lot of trouble. Does do a good flash.
Root hits too, but Jester able to ult out of there after the set ult, but Slackosaurus just kind of gets caught in the middle and just absolutely blown up, and that's really bad for the side of Northern Storm here.
Yeah, like I was saying, all I'm feeling from these supports is engineers, which of course are very frustrating and have allowed them to secure several kills. But at the same time, you know, you're not getting those huge Lux damage lasers that we see so often.
Yeah, and after that pick on a Slack, Option 12 is able to just walk down and take their next Mountain Drake, and scores even 3 Drakes to 3 Drakes.
Yeah, pretty even overall. 3 Drakes, 3 Drakes, 3 kills, 3 towers, 3 tower kills. Gold, of course, a little bit of a difference, but not really significant. Panos' mic is crazy quiet. Ah, that's interesting. Alright, I will fix that. I did not realize that that changed when I was adjusting it. That will teach me to try to
shield everyone from the cough?
Yes, mute myself to not cough. Trying to, there we are, advanced audio properties. Something like this. Gonna not talk for a second here.
Right now we don't see too much crazy happening, just kind of teams managing waves, managing their jungles, and more vision being set up around this Baron by Northern Storm. Just kind of want to make sure that they have priority for this. Dragon's up in 3.5 minutes, and apparently missed a fight in the bot lane where this set was able to take out the Viego in a 1v1. So unfortunately, that should be Baron priority for Option 12 here. We see Option 12 kind of walking into the red side jungle here, trying to force Northern Storm out of here, and they're going to take control to get some vision priority in here while Prowler is just kind of left to freely push in the bot lane here.
Yeah, Prowler getting the free push bot is definitely going to be a problem for them. We do have the Baron call here. I think
Yep,
only...
Baron started up. Is going to get spotted out. Jester is in the area. Even on levels with Burn the Heretics, so no smite advantage here.
Here comes Bidet, so the fight is starting. Slagosaurus is in the middle as well. Legendbear is already incredibly low, as is the Ornn. We do have Jester getting locked up there in the top. Burn the Heretic is taken very low. Bidet is taken very low. Once again, I think it was Olaf who was actually low, as opposed to the Ornn. Bidet tries to get out with a good flash and will get out. Peach is probably going to die at the very least. Alright. So all of that excitement and all of that low health terror, and it's still only a 1 for 2, and they're probably going to get this Baron.
Yeah, Eliza Bear able to safely get out of that fight with just 200 health and already back up to full. And Token trying to stay in the area to try to snipe this Baron, but it's just going to get caught out by Gregosaurus on this Nico here, and things are looking pretty grim for Northern Storm here.
Yep, reasonable gold lead here, 6k. I keep noticing that I keep mixing up Olaf and Ornn because I can't tell who's who under all the particle effects. So I just go with the last one I see, and it's never correct because Olaf's always in the front line. I've been noticing that Shaken is kind of falling back a lot quicker than you might expect from a tank with 4,400 hit points. But, you know, seems to be working out for him, hasn't died yet.
Yeah.
And Lux, Token's Lux has not gotten a kill since, like, minute 6. Maybe minute 10?
It's been quite a while.
And, I mean, part of that, I think, is the damage output has just kind of fallen off. Which we've talked about in depth. Tons of wards here in the Dragon Pit, which is kind of funny. Here comes a big Ornn ult. Oh, good interrupt there by Bidet. We have a multi-on-layer fight here. Good suplex. Jester is running away. Token is stopping them. It looks like he might be giving up on there and turning around on this Poppy. We do have Gregosaurus managing to go invincible and survive long enough for them to get the Poppy and get out. Slag is now taken very low. He's fighting the entire team by himself, essentially, and gets taken out. Peach is now taken very low, trying to do the ult, but that doesn't work out for them either. That's a 3 for nothing.
Yeah, but they're able to find a really, really good stun onto Gregosaurus there, followed up by the root from Peach, but that Zonia is just able to save Greg's life there and kind of turn that fight into just a free victory, and that's going to secure Mountain Soul for the side of option 12 here, and at this point I think it's just a slow bleed from Northern Storm before this game ends. Option 12 is just kind of firing on all cylinders, and as we've kind of said, as chat's definitely said, it's just Northern Storm is just lacking the damage they absolutely need to be able to win these fights.
Yeah, hopefully if they go a similar comp in game 2, we'll see a little more damage coming out of this bot lane. Which I think has been a bit of the detriment here. But really good play from option 12. They've really been good at the target priority, good at the understanding of when a fight is won or lost to a certain extent. And I mean, they're just pushing like a dream here. Especially after a very rough early game with this this set in the bot lane just getting destroyed. Do a bit of a split pushing action going on. The funny thing about the Earth Drake, oh, we do have, good little sneak there by Gregosaurus, but they still manage to spot him out. Jester comes in to try to help and manages to get away as well. Still having his mid laner die though. Big shot there from the Senna. Jester may end up going down. No, he just barely gets away. Bidet is also trying to hold it off. Peach does have a good ultimate going and does manage to land a couple of stuns. Will they get Prowler here? Lots of turret shots. Big Haymaker shield. Alright, so they do manage to get Prowler, but one turret has fallen. Will they get another one? We'll see. It's 3 on 4. There's a lot of tower focus. Burn the Heretic is taken very low. Does end up going down here, so now they're just going to take those turrets and fall back, it looks like.
Yeah, option 12 able to leave only the Nexus for the side of Northern Storm here before they have to go back and reset, losing a large portion of their front line, not going to risk a fight here when they can just regroup and push back in to close out the game.
And the hilarity of the Mountain Soul is that it kind of shored up the one weakness that Option 12 had, which was the lack of durability on Queen Elizabeth. And now, you know, she's about 2,000 health or so. I'm not sure exactly how much the Mountain Soul's giving her. Yeah, she's at 2,000 with the shield's help. Meanwhile, Shaken is at probably 6,000 now.
Yes. Senate is sitting here at 154 stacks now and just so impossibly far back in the back line that it's almost impossible for Northern Storm to find that Senna now without Jester needing to run through the whole team. But with that added durability you just pointed out, Jester's not even going to be able to reliably blow up Queen Elizabeth on this Senna anymore.
Attack range is 775 on Senna. That's hilarious. Let's do a little stat pop over here also. Compared to like Lux is 550. So that's a 200 range bonus on this Senna. Alright. So, the final push coming in here more than likely. We'll see if the snares manage to delay them enough to get some action going in, but there's so much durability all over the place on this team. Burn the Heretic has been cloned, so they're doing some sneaky nonsense with that. Prowler does a pull in. They're all focusing on Bidet, which could be a bit of a mistake. Big Ornal, though, there's so much damage on this team. There's nothing Northern Storm can do. And very well played by Option 12. Close out this first game.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was just kind of what I think we saw there was Option 12 had, well, both teams had an idea in mind when they were going through their draft. Option 12's definitely seemed to have a clear, reliable result of we just need to get through the early game, and then against what we're fighting against, we're basically unstoppable. Northern Storm needed to find advantages earlier and try to push them harder, and they kind of fell apart on their lack of coordination in some of those mid games, as well as just the lack of damage in the late fights.
Yeah, lack of damage. Lux, Morgana, and Vigo all very close in terms of damage, but got out-damaged by the Nico. This Lux bar would probably be twice as long if they had gone full AP.
Yeah, those damage values that you see on the side of Northern Storm mean so much less when the health bars they have to hit are twice the size.
Mm-hmm. And incredible vision score by Queen Elizabeth. Just absolutely insane. All right, so that is the end of the first game. We will be taking a quick break and then going into game number 2. We will see if Northern Storm can rally or if Option 12 pushes themselves into playoff contention. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.